A warm welcome to TV Africa News. This is Africa Today. My name is Najuma Luima, but first are the headlines. Supreme Court orders Chagulanyi's lawyers to renew their practicing certificates. KCCA Executive Director launches a neonatal unit at Chisenyi Hospital. France acknowledges Algerian freedom fighters' torture and murder. And in sports, Cobs unveil new signings in bid to win first league title since 2016. Now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has directed that the counsels for the applicants renew their practicing certificates by the end of today in the matter where Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu wants the election presidential petition he filed withdrawn. Let's take a look. Expired on 1st March 2021 and they hadn't been renewed, yet it is one of the conditions for a counsel to represent anyone in court. It is on this note that the Chief Justice directed that Segona and his colleagues renew their practicing certificates by today, or if not so, ask the Chief Registrar Sarah Ranga to avail them with temporary ones that will expire by 18th this month. Every practicing lawyer in Uganda is entitled to a practicing certificate that is meant to be renewed after 1 year by the Law Council. The hearing of the withdrawal of the application resumes tomorrow at 9 a.m. Moving on, the KCCA Executive Director Dorothy Chisaka has launched a neonatal unit for premature babies at Chisenyi Health Center 4 ahead of Women's Day celebrations scheduled on 8th March 2021. After taking a tour at the facility, Ms. Dorothy Chisaka has appreciated the work done by the staff at Chisenyi Health Center 4 to improve the health system in the country.
Chisenyi Health Center 4 to commemorate Women's Day as KCCA and to appreciate the work that is being done by our team, the Basawo, the sisters, the Abasawo bonna bonna n'abakwatirako. We are very thankful for the great work that is being done here. I have seen there is a unit for looking after those who need to fix their hearing. There is a maternity. There are large numbers of patients coming in. I've seen the circumcision group also coming in. I really want to appreciate what the team at this Chisenyi Health Center 4 is doing. Please give them a round of applause. We appreciate you. The work you do is enormous. In a very special way, I want to appreciate the work that has been done for the mothers and today we've been opening the neonatal clinic. Is it a unit or a clinic? Unit that will take care of our babies who are born and still need some care before the mothers take them on. It's a very neat unit. Dr. Pello and your team, I want to thank you very much for the work you've done.
Away from that, the Chief Commissioner of Scouts, General Katumba Wamala, has today launched a campaign on the total ban of single-use of plastics as a way of ending plastic pollution in Uganda. Nahabwe reports.
Addressing the press at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala on the 4th of March 2021, General Katumba Wamala launched the total ban of single-use of plastics as a way of ending plastic pollution in Uganda, and he said that as government comes up with new infrastructure, they are to make sure they plant trees as well.
Let us all unite as Ugandans across our political, religion, tribal, social differences and take these actions for our nature's sake, for ensuring that our environment is protected and that we can help to recover our nature. Nature is in a state of emergency. If we are not careful, all human activities development will continue to undermine natural assets that underpin nature and the crucial ecosystem services that we all benefit from.
It is on this note that he urged the Ugandan population to consider the fact that green is the lifeline. General Katumba also said that as scouts they have preserved the forests in Uganda and called upon Ugandans to clean their homes, draining areas, trading centers, and encouraged them to plant trees as well. However, the director of the Worldwide Fund for Nature, David Dury, revealed that as an organization, they have signed a memorandum of understanding with different organizations like Rotary Club Uganda to preach the message of preserving the environment and bring back the natural forests.
We have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Church of Uganda to relate to the Interreligious Council to preach this message of nature lost and what we can do. We have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Buganda Kingdom to preach this method, this message to the subjects in the kingdom. And we are really very excited. When we went to the Uganda Kingdom and we met Honorable Mariam here, we realized the kingdom is set on diversity of wildlife species. The tribes, the 34, 35 tribes, all are represented by some kind of wildlife.
Let's take a quick short break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News at The Right to Know. In our international news today, Senegal's prominent opposition leader, Ousmane Sonko, has been arrested on Wednesday after supporters scuffled with security forces ahead of his scheduled court appearance to face a rape charge. Nalugo reports.
According to his lawyer, Sonko, 46, was heading to court to face the charge, which he denies and says is politically motivated. Hundreds of supporters followed his motorcade, sounding car horns and chanting, while some of them hurled stones at the officers who fired back with tear gas. Controversy has dogged Sonko since last month when Senegalese media reported that an employee at a beauty salon where he went to get massages filed rape charges against him. On Friday, Senegal's parliament voted to strip Sonko of his immunity so the rape prosecution could proceed. Sonko has accused the president of conspiring to remove him ahead of the 2024 general elections. He was due to appear before a judge in Dhaka on Wednesday morning to answer the rape charge. However, he was arrested before he reached the courthouse, according to his lawyer. Nalgo Muyingo, Africa Today.
Moving on, the former Ivorian Minister of Youth, Charles Blake Godi, is seeking a return to the West African country months after he was acquitted of rights charges by the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Nahabwe reports.
Charles Blake Godi informed journalists that he was willing and is ready to jet back to Abidjan, but authorities are blocking him from doing so. Ivory Coast had issued passports to former President Laurent Gbagbo, which will allow him to return from exile in Belgium. Charles Blake Godi did not receive his passport, which he blamed to the Ivorian authorities for blocking his passport issuance, citing political differences. Gbagbo and former Ivorian Youth Minister Charles Blake Godi have both been unable to return to the West African nation since their January 2019 acquittals under the terms of their release set by International Criminal Court. Gbagbo and Blake Godi faced trial in the Hague of crimes against humanity and war crimes related to the Civil War, which saw some 3,000 killed.
Away from that, President Emmanuel Macron admitted on Tuesday officially reappraising a date that was covered up as a suicide that French forces tortured and murdered Algerian freedom fighter Ali Boumangel during his country's war for independence. We have more. The move comes after the French leader stoked outrage in January when he refused to issue an official apology for abuses committed during the occupation of Algeria. The Elysee Palace said in a statement, Bomangel, a nationalist and lawyer, was arrested during the Battle of Algiers by the French army, placed incommunicado, tortured and then killed on 23 March 1957. At the time, the lawyer's murder was made to appear as an assassination. The French president promised to undertake symbolic acts in a bid to reconcile the two countries, though he ruled out any apology. He said he made the admission in the name of France when he met the grandchildren of Ali Bomangel at the Elysee Palace on Tuesday. Moving on, at least 38 people were killed on Wednesday in Myanmar as security forces opened fire on large crowds in a number of cities, marking the bloodiest day since protests against the military coup began last month. Our reporter Nahawe has more on this report.
Describing Wednesday as the bloodiest day since the military coup began 1st of February, the UN's envoy to Myanmar said at least 38 protesters were killed in the country. Police have also fired tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse crowds. Over 1,000 protesters are also known to have been detained, and their whereabouts remain unknown, and many families don't know where the members of the families are detained. Police have also fired tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse crowds. Over 1,000 protesters are also known to have been detained, and their whereabouts remain unknown, and many families don't know where their members of the families are detained, if they are healthy or not. While the military's escalations has led to the increased diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis, so far countries have only imposed sanctions on military officials. Myanmar state media has blamed agitators for the unrest, accusing them of mobilizing people on social media and forming illegal organizations. Nahabu Kajura, Africa Today.
In our business news today, after a year and a half, the Miss Universe competition will return with a live telecast on May 16th. The 69th Miss Universe event will be held at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood. Kachanchu reports.
The last Miss Universe pageant was in December 2019, and its winner, Bini Tunzi of South Africa, has worn the crown longer than anyone else.
And in health, the first shipment of just over 1 million COVAX-funded AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines arrived in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, on Tuesday as African countries wrap up their vaccine rollouts. The East African nation's vaccination campaign will start with its 400,000 health professionals before extending to other frontline workers. Let's take a look. According to Mutahi Kagwe, the Kenyan Cabinet Secretary of Health, the police, teachers and other people with comorbidities, people who have got other diseases, will receive the jabs so that they can be protected. A flight carrying almost 4 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine via the COVAX system arrived that same day at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Abba Thaku, India's High Commissioner to Nigeria, said that this is one of the single largest consignment of vaccines that has left India, which is now emerging as the pharmacy of the world, and have so far exported or supplied or donated nearly 36 million doses to 35 different countries, and another 15 countries will be supplied this vaccine soon. And in sports, Kampala Old Boys Rugby Club, popularly known as Cops, have unveiled 9 new players who have joined the club ahead of the 2021 season as a fresh bid to win their first league since 2016. Kachanchu has more.
Speaking to the press at the event, Club Vice Chairman Isaac Alutwaman Subuga revealed that the priority during this transfer windows was to strengthen their pack by adding more physicality and experience to the setup. Loose forward Byron Oketayot and lock Arthur Mpande have been signed from Rhinos, while lock Michael Otto and Robert Masendi are from Heathens. Cobs will kick off their campaigns in a Legends Derby against Rhinos RFC on the opening match day of the Nile Special Stout Rugby Premier League. TV Africa News, Kachanchu Mtabazi reporting.
Now, before we end our news bulletin today, let's take a recap of our top stories. Supreme Court orders Chagulani's lawyers to renew their practicing certificates. KCCA Executive Director launches a neonatal unit at Chisenyi Hospital. France acknowledges Algerian freedom fighters' torture and murder. And in sports, Cobs unveil new signings in bid to win first league title since 2016. That was the news. Thank you for always keeping it TV Africa. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.
This is Africa, and that was the news.